Give me a second. All right, I'm gonna get right to it. It's good all day, fam. So, how do y'all feel about the Mike Vrabel situation? I mean, the Patriots discussed Mike Tomlin as a possible replacement for Mike Vrabel if he ever considers resigning as a head coach. The New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft has begun eyeing potential successors if the fallout from the Diana, I don't know if you pronounce her name right. Is it Diana? Diana Rossini photo scandal becomes too damaging to contain. And the name at the top of that list is Tomlin. So Mike Tomlin, he is a potential replacement for Mike Vrabel. I think that would be awesome. The Crafts are extremely loyal and have no intention of firing Mike Vrabel, nor do they want to see him quit over all of this drama. So the insider told the Mail. But if these upcoming few months go haywire, and if they are put in a situation of no return, either with the team not doing well or the drama of Mike's family issues taking over and forcing a decision on Mike's coaching future, the one person that they would seek to replace him would be no other than the great Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is 54 years old, and he just accepted a broadcasting job with NBC for the 2026 season, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. But it's unclear if he would have any interest in the Patriots job if it were to become available. I'm not sure if Mike Tomlin would want to coach for the New England Patriots, but at the same time, I don't know Mike Tomlin like that. But I think Mike Tomlin probably wanted to step away from coaching at least for a year, and maybe he can get that space and he can come back with a team with a better situation than the Pittsburgh Steelers, which New England right now does have a sort of a better situation than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have the quarterback, they got the defense, they got the running back, they got the team. I mean, they just went to. I'm tripping. Did they just go to Super Bowl? Yeah. Wait. Oh, so I'm tripping. What teams went to the Super Bowl this year? But anyways, they were close to the Super Bowl. We put it like that. And I mean, Mike Tomlin with what's the name? Drake May. I mean, that'd be interesting. I mean, to be honest with you, Mike Tomlin definitely does fit how Robert Kraft wants his team coached. I mean, there is no big of a difference between Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick, Mike Tomlin, Mike Vrabel. So that will be very interesting for you New England Patriots fans. But I hopefully Mike Vrabel doesn't step down from this situation. I mean, he was acting like it wasn't that serious. So I mean, hopefully, but if he does step down from this, then evidently this whole situation was a lot bigger than how he's trying to downplay it. But speaking of New England Patriots, we can go over their draft class because I know a fan asked me about going over their draft class. So let's go over their draft class real quick. Let me see, pull it up. In 2026 draft class, New England Patriots. If I have any New England Patriot fans watching this video, what do you think about Mike Tomlin possibly being your head coach not over, or being the successor of Mike Vrabel if Mike Vrabel were to step down? All right, so here's also your while I'm reading the draft class, you can tell me in the comments what you think. All right, so Caleb Lamu. Again, I didn't watch college football last year, this past season, so I'm not too sure on how these players are or how great they are, but I can give you my football knowledge based on what your team is right now, where they are, and if I felt like it was probably a good pick, regardless of how talented or great of this player I think they are, because based on the situation, football is situational. Football is situational. It's really about making wise decisions at the right time. And so, let's see. Football is about matchups as well. So I mean, let's see. You got Caleb Lamu out of Utah, the round first pick, number 28. So I mean, picking the corner in the first round better be a great corner. I mean, New England does have a really good pass defense. So I mean, it wouldn't hurt picking up Caleb Lamu, but if he's a really, really, really good corner, I think it was a good pick. But I'm not too sure. So you guys got two. So you picked two players out of Illinois back to back. So you picked up one guy out of no, not Illinois, Utah. Well, hold on. Where's Caleb Lamu go to? 'Cause I'm seeing. Okay, Utah. Okay, you know, mind. You got one guy out of Utah and the next guy out of Illinois. Gabe Jacobs, out of Illinois. What position does he play? Offensive tackle. Let's see. Oh no, you got an offensive tackle in the first round. I don't know why I thought this dude was a corner. Oh yeah, so that was a good pick. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that was a good pick. You got Caleb Lamu out of Utah, offensive tackle, first round, 28th overall. Okay, yeah, I like that pick. I like that pick. I thought that was a corner at first. So no, yeah, that was a really excellent pick. You guys need New England does need some offensive linemen, and especially if he was probably one of the best players on the board at that time, it doesn't really matter. New England was picking late in the first round. I think that was solid. And then you got Jake Jackas. I guess I hope that's how you pronounce his last name, Jackas, Jacas. So Gabe Jackas, round two, 55th overall. You got a pass rusher. I'm liking the strategy because you go for offensive lineman and then you go pass rusher. The strategy here is how I would say it. If I'm the general manager, I'm like, let's protect the quarterback. Let's protect our franchise player. Who's our franchise player? Drake May. That's the quarterback. Let's protect one of the most important players on this team. And without a doubt, the most important position on this team. That's the first round. Second round, let's put the quarterback's ass to the ground. How can you put the quarterback's ass to the ground? By picking up a pass rusher, by picking up an edge. So you're protecting the quarterback, and then now we're going to draft a guy to put the quarterback to the dirt. Gabe Jacobs, he probably can do that. So guy out of Illinois, round two, pick 2055. I like that. That's strategy right there. That's not just picking best player available. And the funny thing about this is that if you do pick the BPA, best player available, and also based on your team's needs, because New England does need an offensive. They do need an offensive. They do need an offensive line, and they do need a pass rusher. They lacked both of those this past year, and they went deep into the playoffs. And to be honest with you, how you really win a lot of games in the NFL and go really deep and then deep into the playoffs and then go into the Super Bowl is being able to protect the quarterback, beefing up on both sides of the balls, on the ball of the offensive line and the defensive line in the trenches. And that's what New England is kind of doing. And you also need a pass rusher. Because why is a pass rusher so important? Because the pass rusher is knocking the quarterback's ass to the ground. That's literally the only thing that the pass rusher is supposed to do. And that's why because you're knocking the quarterback's ass to the ground, who is the most important player of that entire franchise. So in position of the entire franchise. Maybe not player, depending on what kind of player it is, but definitely position. So I like how they did that. We're going to protect the QB, and we're going to attack the QB. So those two picks, New England fans, I think that was solid by New England. If I was a GM of that team, I definitely would have picked it like that. But best player available is always, that's the standard. So if they were the best player available at that pick, plus you got your team needs, that's a steal. That's a steal. All right, so round three, you got Eli Raridon, guy out of Notre Dame. Notre Dame, they put out great players. Tight end, they are known for putting out pretty good tight ends. So if he's pretty solid, if he's a good tight end, I mean, that's also good. You know, again, a really great tight end helps the quarterback. I would say the three positions that really, really, really helps a young quarterback is center, a great running game, which is the running back, tight end. Those are the three positions that really can help a quarterback blossom and mature fast. Okay, so I like so if Eli Raridon, if he's really solid, that's another great pick. And then you got Cameron Pruney, guy out of Wake Forest. He looks like a corner. No, he's defensive back. Okay, solid. Okay, so round five. Let's see how he plays. Like I said, I didn't watch college ball, so I don't know how great these guys are. But I'm just kind of going based on position, what I know, and based on the team. And then you got Demetrius Crownover. It looks like an offensive tackle. Yeah, offensive tackle out of Texas A&M. Okay, Demetrius, I think is pronounced his name. Demetrius Crownover. So you got another pick in the sixth round, Nnamdi Abizor. He looks like a linebacker. Yeah, linebacker out of TCU. Okay, round six. And then in round seven, looks like you got a quarterback in round seven, backup, Baron Morton. Okay, and then you got another pick out of round 7, Jam Miller, who's like a running back out of Alabama. Can never go wrong getting a running back out of Alabama. And then Quintavious Hutchins. So you had 3 picks in the 7th round. You guys had some solid picks. Quintavious Hutchins, linebacker out of Boston College. I look. I like. I mean, it's only so much I can say because like I said, I don't know too much about these guys, but the strategy is what I like. I like the strategy. So let's see what y'all's draft grade was. Okay, so Gabe Jacques was the last of the top edge rusher prospect early on day 2. So you more than likely did get best player available. So that's what I'm talking about. So Gabe Jacques was a good pick. And then they said ending up with one of the 7 first round caliber tackles. So you ended up with a good tackle as well in Caleb Lemieux. So that was solid. So that's what I'm talking about. So hey man, I will give New England a B plus. I'm only giving them a B plus because, again, I don't know how great these guys are. If I knew how great they were, I would give you guys an A plus. But I think you got some. I think you got some solid players that can help your team get better ASAP. And here's some film. Let me see. Watch this film. I think that's watching the tight end or the offensive line. Okay. Yeah, man. So kudos to New England. Hopefully this is not a distraction with the whole Mike Vrabel situation. So, and hopefully Mike Vrabel doesn't step down. I mean, to be honest with you all, there's only a few coaches and players in all of professional sports that ain't cheating on their wife right now. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's the truth. Even in coaches. Like, I hear stories about coaches, and I mean, that's just how it is. So, I mean, Mike Vrabel and Rosini, if that's how you pronounce her name, it seems like this been going on for years, and they got caught. I guess I think I heard her husband hired an investigator. Her husband hired an investigator and that's the one a private investigator, and he released all those pictures. So the investigator released all those pictures, private investigator. I mean, it's an unfortunate situation for the household, and I feel sorry for her husband because I've been hearing that she says been disrespecting her husband for years now. I mean, and I think she named her. You guys check me on this. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but she named her son Michael, and the guy she having an affair with is Mike Vrabel. That's crazy. I mean, I really don't understand what's the point of her like resigning from her position and Mike Vrabel stepping down just because they got caught. I guess because it's a conflict of interest, I guess, and if Mike Vrabel and her are having an intimate relationship, I guess that ruins the integrity of her reports because she can be very biased in her report. So I think that's where the situation is coming to play. So I can understand why Rosini, please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing her name, but I can understand why she will resign. But I would not understand if Mike Vrabel steps down. It's like, bro, you're the top dog. First off, you're a Super Bowl champion. You are probably a Hall of Famer. You are a great, or at least not a great, but a very, very, very good head coach. You're on top of your game. Robert Kraft ain't tripping over what you did. Robert Kraft ain't tripping. The players don't give a damn. They really don't. If I was a player, I'd be honest with you, I wouldn't give a damn. My coach is cheating on his wife. That ain't got nothing to do with me. All I want to know is if my coach can coach me and make me prepared on Sundays on top of what me already being prepared. You know, everything else is out the window. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they doing personally. I'm like, I care about wins. I care about results. Let's get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's that. But um, maybe I would care because I'm thinking at the same time, how can you coach me and teach me about discipline and loyalty, and you're not even loyal and disciplined at home? So maybe I would care to a certain extent, but at the same time, Mike Vrabel is a very good coach, and I'm getting paid at the end of the day. Robert Kraft is paying me to go out there and produce and show results on the field. Whatever other player or coach is doing behind closed doors, that crap is out the window. As a player, as a football player, and I learned this. I never played in the NFL, but I know people. I know players in the NFL. I have friends in the NFL. I was pursuing to play D1 ball, so I met. That's how I know guys who are in the NFL, because when I was trying to walk on at the University of Alabama, I ran into a lot of Alabama players at that time. And Alabama, if you guys know, that's a powerhouse. That's a powerhouse college football school. When Nick Saban was coaching there was no other school that was better at putting players into the NFL than Alabama. I was just fortunate enough to be living at Alabama. So I tried walking on. I ran into a lot of guys. So, the thing about it is that you have to be able, as an athlete, especially if you want to go to the pros, you have to be able to compartmentalize and to have a stupid psychopathic obsession of the game if you want to be great and if you want to get to the next level, you know what I'm saying, and be great at the next level. You know what I'm saying? And so your focus has to be nothing about like just pure results on the field. So really at the same time, a lot of players don't give a damn what's going on with Mike Vrabel. They really don't. They want to know if he can come out there every single Sunday with the game plan and be able to present the game plan for them to win. Because every single Sunday it's like going to war. That's how it kind of is. So it's almost, I don't want to say it's like, I don't want to be disrespectful to American soldiers, be like, oh, football is like, what I'm saying, going to Iraq or whatever. But that's, when you're in that ecosystem, that's kind of the mentality that you got to have. You know what I'm saying? And so think about, like, if you're going to war and you all of a sudden found out your drill sergeant is having an affair on his wife, are you really going to give a damn about that? You're going to be caring about, is your drill sergeant going to be able to lead you out to victory, to war? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it kind of is. So it's kind of a cutthroat doggy dog mentality, but at the end of the day, that's just kind of how it is. That's the name of the game. And if you can't vibe with that, you know what's going to happen? Because the NFL, there's no other league that's better than replacing your ass than the NFL. If you're not improving, if you're not getting better, if you're not obsessed enough with getting better, guess what? Young shot can do what you can't. You know what they say, like in relationships, it's like what they say is like, what you can't do, another person will. So the whole mentality is if you can't, what you can't do on this field, best believe me, a young shot caller will, because that's what happens. Because you're getting older, your age is working against you. Football is not polite to age. So you guys see it, like, unless you're a quarterback nowadays, but you see it, like, look what, like, it doesn't matter how great you are. Look what happened to AP. Look what happened to a lot of other guys. It doesn't matter how great you are. If you're getting older and you're not producing, they're going to kick your ass out of the league. And the thing about it is, it's much easier to make it into the league and stay in the league than to make it into the league and get out the league and then try to come back. It is much harder to do that. So you got to do everything you can to stay in the league. And you got to be selfish, man. You cannot give a damn about a lot. You can't give a damn about a lot of things. And how a lot of guys, how they mess up. When they're in the NFL, you're right. How a lot of guys mess up when they're in the NFL, man, is that they start focusing on other stuff, man. Whether it's women or whether it's getting caught up with the wrong crowd or whatever, But that's what happens, man. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Give me y'all's opinions. I'm just telling you based on my experience and based on what I know and everything. But yeah. But this is why I love the game, man, because like there was no other activity, no other sport that taught me more about life and make me to become the man that I am now, and to keep me as focused on my craft of what I'm doing now as a writer, as a content creator. I guess you can call me. I don't really like using the word content creator, but as a writer or a bidder of systems and stuff, than football. Like, football teaches you so much about life. It is so much, like, it really is. And it's just like, here's the thing. It's just like I said, if you're not good, you get replaced. No job in the NFL is guaranteed. No job in life is guaranteed. If what happens in life, it's capitalism, baby. It's the doggy dog world. If you're not good, you know what? You're fired. Next man up. It's just that black and white. It's just that cutthroat. It's so unforgiving. So it's tough. It's not fair. But who cares? Football is not fair. Football is never fair. The NFL is not fair. Guess what else isn't fair? Life. This world. It's not fair. You know? So it's like, you can pout about it all you want and cry about it, but at the same time, it's like, nobody gives a damn. You'll be replaced. You're still going to be replaced. So that's the reality of it, man. And I guess, I don't know. That's why I love it so much, because it gives me so much clarity. So much clarity, you know? So y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments about all that. The guy, he asked me to talk about New England and the Patriots, and that's exactly what I did. I gave you my whole opinion about it, you know, my experience of what I know and stuff. If you want me to go a little deeper into your team, do constant reviews or videos on your team, I have no problem doing that either. My favorite squad is the Chargers. I can talk about the Chargers all day long, but my favorite sport is football. My favorite league to watch is the NFL. Actually, I don't even watch other sports. The only sport I watch is football. The NFL, that's the only sport I watch. Like, I used to love watching basketball. I used to play basketball. Like, I used to play basketball every single day. That was my first actual love of playing. Like, when I was a kid, you know, basketball was my thing until I started playing football. And when I started playing football, I just threw basketball away. Like, I wasn't natural at playing football. I'm more natural at playing basketball. But I don't care about basketball like that, so I just don't play it. And, you know, and I stopped watching the NBA after Kobe retired, because the NBA just started getting so soft to me, and it's just not as competitive to me anymore. So, but yeah, that's all I got. So if you want me to talk about your squad, about talking about your team, a certain player or whatever situation, whatever's going on in the league, let me know. Drop it in the comments, you know, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep updating you all on what's going on in the ecosystem of football, specifically the NFL. Because there is no other sport, no other league to talk more about than that, you know. So that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, and yeah, thank you for your my likes and everything, and subscriptions. You all are really helping this channel grow, so I really appreciate that. And yeah, the more you support this channel, the more it's going to grow. I have so much plans for this. But right now, I just want to be consistent on just talking every single day, just jumping on here, whether it's like 10 minutes, but at least just jumping on here every single day. There's no days off, all day. All right, deuces.